Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going to be talking about stubborn fat and just common mistakes you are most likely making that is hindering your fat loss progress. There are so many different mistakes that I could list out that you might be doing, but I'm going to share 5 or 6 mistakes you most likely are doing that is hindering your fat loss progress. So I hope this video does help you. I know how frustrating it can be when you're on a fat loss journey and you're not seeing any fat diminishing away and you want to give up. But we don't give up around here. We do not give up around here. We are sticking to it. We are gonna find out the problem and we're gonna fix it so then you can hit your goals. I'm all about it. So I hope this video helps you. If you like these type of videos, please give it a thumbs up so I know. And then if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video with me. Let's get into the common mistakes or the common reasons why you're most likely not losing fat. So tip number 1 is pretty self-explanatory. You're most likely eating too much. So you're not in a calorie deficit. And everyone always asks me, well, Katie, what's a calorie deficit? Calorie deficit is when you're eating less calories than what you're burning every single day. So let's say in total, you burn about 1,800 calories every single day by just being alive, breathing, eating. That's including your workouts, everything like that. Let's say you burn about 1,800 calories doing all of that. Now, in order to be in a calorie deficit, I would probably put you in anywhere between 1,500 to 1,600 calories. So you are eating 1,500 to 1,600 calories every single day, even though you're burning 1,800. So it's not a big gap. You're not eating 800 calories only. You're still eating a substantial amount of food, but you're in a calorie deficit. A lot of times people who do not track macros or just are intuitive eating are not eating in a calorie deficit. It is really hard to know how many calories you should be eating if you're not tracking or if you've never tracked before, which is why I highly recommend doing research on macros. Macro counting is the best way for you to figure out how many calories, how many carbs, proteins, and fats you need to be eating for your specific goals. And I'm pointing at you because every single person is different. What I eat for fat loss would be completely different most likely than what you would be eating. So a lot of people think they're eating less, but in reality, they're still not eating in a calorie deficit. They're still eating either at maintenance level or above maintenance level calories. And you gotta be eating less calories, you know? In order to lose fat, you gotta eat less. And I'm not saying you gotta eat only 800 calories. You need to figure out the math. There's so many different macro calculators online that you can kind of look at to see how many calories for your specific body, for your age, your weight, everything like that gets calculated into your macros. So do your own research, look online, double check to see if you are eating in a calorie deficit if you are trying to lose fat. Okay, so tip number 2, I'm definitely guilty of, and I think every single person watching this video, you're probably gonna sit here and be like, oh shoot, yeah, I should probably watch that. So tip number 2 is going to be you're probably using too many oils. So oils as in olive oil, coconut oil, even cream, like coffee creamer. Also salad dressing is a huge one. I know I'm guilty of it too. I usually get salad dressing on the side if I'm out to dinner, or even if I'm pouring my own salad dressing at home. I don't measure it. I just pour it on top until the lettuce is nice and wet and I'm good to go. But salad dressing also is super, super high in fat. You're probably using too much of it. All those things are really, really high in fat, which mean they're really high in calories. I mean, have you ever looked at a serving size of olive oil? Have you ever looked at a serving size for coffee creamer? I mean, it's most likely a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons for 200 calories because fats are higher in calories than proteins and carbs. So most of the time, you're probably using too much oil when you're cooking. You're probably putting too much creamer in your coffee in the morning. So I challenge you guys to just pay a little bit more attention to that. Use measurements when you are cooking with oils like coconut oil or olive oil because those are really, really high in calories and they're really high in fat. And then also measure out your coffee creamer. If you are someone who loves the sugary coffee creamer, I would try to start looking into alternatives because coffee creamers are super high in fats as well. If you're someone who cooks a lot with cooking oils, double check to make sure you're using the right amount and definitely track that towards your calories if you are tracking calories because a lot of people leave that out and they're wondering why they still aren't losing fat when they're not counting those calories from fats from cooking oils or coffee creamers. So I'm guilty of it too. You're probably sitting there like, yeah, I just eyeball everything, but you're probably overdoing it on the fats. But that's okay. Just double check. Portion control and serving sizes is so important. So make sure you are paying attention to that when you're cooking or adding stuff into your coffee, drink, stuff like that. So if you don't track macros and if you don't track your food or you're just eating, a lot of times you're not getting enough fiber into your diet. And fiber is most likely found in like fruits and vegetables and just like nutrient dense foods. And it keeps you fuller longer. So you don't feel as hungry when you have enough fiber in your meals. So I'm pretty sure, I'm just going off the top of my head here, so don't quote me. Definitely check this, but I'm pretty sure women should be eating about 25 grams of fiber every single day. The best way to really track this is, again, tracking macros. I know MyFitnessPal shows me how many grams of fiber I eat every single day, and that really helps, but just increase your veggie intake, increase your fruit intake to get more fiber into your diet, because fiber will keep you fuller longer and it just helps with fat loss. Okay, so tip number 4. This is going to be a super common one because I hear this all the time. Well, Katie, I'm eating healthy. I've been eating so good. I've been working out so well. But a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this too, are overeating these healthy foods. So if you think about it, when you want a snack and you're like, oh, I'm gonna eat nuts, and you eat like a ton of nuts, well, nuts are really high in fats. So those calories from fats are gonna skyrocket and you're gonna be eating a ton of calories of nuts, and that's just a ton of calories from fat. Also, like I said before, if you've ever measured an accurate measurement of peanut butter, you're gonna be very disappointed because 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is about like 200 calories, and a tablespoon of peanut butter is so small. So if you're actually not measuring and you're just scooping that peanut butter, you're getting a lot of calories from that peanut butter. Or for example, those acai bowls that everyone loves. I love acai bowls, but I don't eat them all the time anymore because one whole bowl is like 1,400 calories, but you would never ever think that because they're all healthy foods. But if you eat one of those in one serving and then you just eat, you know, your normal meals or your normal food throughout the day, you had a lot of calories from that acai bowl, and you probably just were like, oh, it's a healthy option, it's fine. And that's totally fine. Like, if you want an acai bowl, you guys know me, eat the acai bowl. But I'm just letting you guys know that if you're not tracking and if you're not being like super mindful of the things that you're eating, or if you're like eating super healthy but you're overeating those super healthy things, those are where the calories and the fats are gonna add up. And that's gonna stall your progress. I challenge you guys just to like kind of take a look at that. If you're someone who loves to snack on pistachios or nuts, or you love acai bowls, or you love peanut butter and you don't even care about the serving size, you just pile it onto your celery or pile it onto your rice cake, take a step back and remeasure things, because a lot of times you guys are getting extra calories by not measuring out your food accurately. I usually recommend doing it at least for a little bit so you can kind of figure out what a serving size kind of looks like of everything that you're eating. But if you're overeating healthy foods, it's probably stalling your progress. So just be mindful of serving sizes, of portion control. You don't need to eat the whole acai bowl, but if you ate half now and half tomorrow, then you split up those calories and you split up those fats, which will help you as well. So tip number 5 is you are most likely not getting enough protein. And protein is essential for lean muscle mass, and when you have more lean muscle mass on your body, you're just gonna naturally burn more calories. Science is awesome. I say this really lightly because everyone is so different, and I usually like to help my clients figure out their own macros personally based off like their body, their lifestyle, like their goal, everything like that. I normally recommend 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight goal. So say your body weight goal is 125 pounds, you should be eating relatively within like 125 grams of protein per day. But a lot of times we're not getting enough protein in. Protein intake is really important when it comes to burning fat and then also building lean muscle, which helps you burn fat. Okay, last tip is going to be your exercise routine. So more than likely you're burning calories, but you're not building muscle. Are you someone who goes to the gym and spends all your time on the cardio machine? You barely touch the weights, you barely pick up a 5-pound dumbbell because you're scared of the weight training room, you're scared of looking bulky. I got some news for you. If you want to lose fat or reconstruct your body shape, you need to be lifting weights. Cardio, yeah, you might be burning calories, you might lose fat, but it's not changing your body at all. It's not changing the shape. If you want to change the shape of your body, if you want to get some toned and lean arms, which I hate the word tone, but we'll save that for another day. If you want to slim down your arms, get some muscle tone in your arms, you need to be lifting weights. You need to get off the cardio machine, stop being a cardio bunny, and you need to go lift some weights. Basically, if you just spend your whole entire time on the treadmill, on the elliptical, on the Stairmaster, you're just gonna be a skinnier version of yourself. And if that is your goal, go for it. But if you're trying to reshape your body at all, build a little bit more muscle, lean out a little bit, change your body shape, you need to be lifting weights. You can, of course, do cardio if you like cardio. Just lift weights first, then do 15 to 20 minutes of cardio after your weight training session. But you need to be challenging yourself, lifting a moderate to heavy amount of weight, challenging your muscles so then you can reshape your body, burn those calories, and blast that fat. And then you also need to make sure your diet is in check. I know we kind of talked about that, but just eating nutrient-dense foods, making sure you're watching your calorie intake, you're watching portion control. Basically, if you want a more toned, I hate that word, physique, then you need to be lifting some weight. So get off the cardio machine and go to the weight section. Make sure that if you are doing any of those things, you're just being a little bit more mindful. A lot of times, I mean, like I said, I'm completely guilty of it too. I'll just dump that olive oil in the pan. I'm like, oh, it burns, it cooks down, it's fine. But no, that's not really how it works. So just be a little bit more mindful of the healthy fats that you're eating. If you're overeating the healthy foods, just be a little bit more mindful of that. Portion control is going to be so key. Serving sizes, so key. Hitting those weights hard, hitting your workouts hard, changing it up a little bit, you can do it. Eat your good food, eat your meals, eat your protein, eat your carbs, eat your fats, get your workouts in. Woo, we're gonna burn some fat, all right? But I hope you guys like this video. That is all for now. I will see you guys next time.